Hi everyone, I'm back with this page from the, trying to open it, close it for you, Nice Little Town Halloween by Tatiana Bogema Stolova. And in the last video I did these little bits here. I thought what I would do is pick out a few more Halloween-y things rather than the more general looking items. So we'll do this pumpkin, I think, and just sort of, I don't know, I'm just going to do a few bits and pieces. So let's come in close to the pumpkin to start with. Now I'm using my Pablo Pencils again. I love how he's got a tongue. Yeah, I'm using the Pablo Pencils again, and as I said in the last video, I do have some charts where you can convert the colours to polys or prismas if you feel that, if you don't have these particular ones. I'm just picking a few colours. The oranges aren't very intense. I think this one might be. This is the, yeah, that's the reddish orange. I think that's what we need to start with. Oh, it's not going to show up, reddish orange. So I'm going to just do the general all over our pumpkin really with this. You can see it isn't really still that vibrant despite being called reddish orange, but I've got another colour to use after, which will hopefully brighten it up a lot. I'm never quite sure what colour to do pumpkins. I mean, obviously orange, but sometimes they are green. It's tricky to know what sort of shade of orange to do, because I see them in various different shades. I haven't seen any actually in the shops yet this year so far. It is only the 2nd of October as I'm recording this video, so it's quite early. I don't think people tend to only put them out on Halloween in the UK, so there's not much point in the shops getting them in too early. I did notice my local supermarket, which is a Waitrose. I was walking past the other day, and they had in their sort of garden area, they did have some sort of fake plastic pumpkins. I don't know if they were buckets for collecting your trick-or-treats, or whether they would just, I think they might have just been ones to put a candle in outside, you know, quite cute ones. And they had a gorgeous wreath, which was just an autumnal one. And it had, I'm going to grab this. This is the flame red. So we're going a bit darker, and I'm going to do sort of around the edge of each of these sections. Just try and start putting in some shape to our pumpkin. I know it's a picture in the cookery book or spell book, I guess, but I want to do it like this. Yes, they had this lovely wreath with, it was basically berries. You know me, berries, anything berries, I love it. But also berries and sort of red leaves, and it was really pretty colours, but it was plastic. And I was like, meh. Looked a bit plasticky, seeing as it was plastic. I mean, it made sense, because if you're going to have it outside, just working out where that one's going to end up. I think it's going to go about there. I think I'm just going to do the whole of this bit a little bit darker anyway. Yeah, so it would make sense. If you're having it outside, you're going to want it a bit plasticky to withstand the weather. And I guess it's probably not designed to be looked at really close up, but I was like, But the colours were lovely. And but we don't do wreaths on our front door, because I can't hang things on our front door really. I'm going to go back to my reddish orange. No, I'm not. I'm going to go lighter. Hang on. Arguing with myself now. Oof. I'm going to use the orange. It's a bit paler, just to fill in some of these centre bits like that. I want it to be a bit lighter and brighter. Yeah, that's nice. It is taking away from what I did before. Can't really see it now, but never mind. We'll get there. Just keep working it until it looks how I want. That's the idea, isn't it, really? Yeah, we don't put wreaths on our door because our door's made of plastic, so we can't nail anything on. I think there are ways you can hook things over the door, but I think our door fits too well for that to work. I'm going to go for the English red. It's more of a brownish colour, and I'm going to use it to put in my shadows. I want it to look a bit darker at the bottom. I do have this plan that you could get a piece of cotton and double it over, and then tuck it around the flap of your letterbox on the inside of the door, and then drape it right across the door to the outside, and then you could hang it on that. But I don't know if it would work, so I've never tried it. So no, but we just don't do them in our street. There's a street near us, and they have sort of competitive wreaths. It's really pretty. They all seem to have them. I love them. The inside bit of the pumpkin, I feel maybe it would be a slightly muted orange. I'm going to grab this one. I think it's the fast orange. Yes, the fast orange it's called. Very odd name. And I'm going to do this bit with it. I don't know what to do inside, because this could be really bright through the eyes and on the back here, because there's a candle in it. But there isn't a candle in it. So what do we do? What colour is it inside? This sort of fleshy colour maybe. But then we've done that for this. We don't want it too much the same. What colour is that? And what else have we got? We've got an apricot or an orangish yellow. We could try the orangish yellow. Let's try that. See how it works. Bit of an experiment, isn't it, really? Ooh! It's a bit bright, isn't it? It's just got really dull here. It's forecast for rain, I think, for the rest of the day. I made sure my boys had their Macs, so they've shoved them in their bag. It's really hot. Too hot to wear a coat or anything, but they're going to need a Mac. I think I'm just going to do that, this colour. And you could do it in a fun pink, like it's sort of a human tongue, but it's a pumpkin. I feel like I want that to glow a bit more. I'm going to grab a Naples yellow. Just going to... I know I said there's no candle, so it wouldn't be yellow, but I just want it to stand out a bit. Yeah, that's better. It's still not really like bright, but it's a bit more... And we got this stalky bit. I always tend to do the stalky bit in a sort of khaki green, so that's what I'm going to do this time. I don't think they always are. Whoop. There we go. Now we've got arrows pointing to our pumpkin in this sort of instructional area of the booklet, so I figure we could use our darkest orange, you could use the English red to do those, so it sort of stands out, but we're not using a completely different colour. Can you see how it, it stands out a lot more because it's on its own? I just need to sharpen it. You could use an actual red if you wanted, but I'm not. I just wanted to use one of the colours from the pumpkin. It ties it all up, doesn't it? Now we've got a beetle up there. I think I've got my eye on doing that next. And I'm just blocking this in. I'm not doing anything special. I am checking though to see if there's any others arrows, but there isn't. I don't know why we're particularly pointing at the pumpkin. Yeah, that's that. Let's move our beetle more into the middle. There he is. Now we could try something really shimmery, shiny and fun, because I'm thinking, if what's in the cauldron is this recipe, we've done it wrong, because the cauldron is green and we've got a pumpkin. I think this is a pumpkin pie recipe. There's a picture of a pie, so maybe this isn't what she's making. Don't know. Anyway, let's just have a go at our beetle. I'm going to use some browns, but there's a really pretty, I'm going to go for a few different colours. I'm going to start with the burnt sienna and just do a bit of the edge like that, and a little bit of the top like that, and then just fade it a bit because I want to blend in the next colour. And I might do a bit of that on the head there too. I'm going to do some of the head and legs in black or dark grey. Then I'm going to move to the mahogany, which is a gorgeous colour. Again, I just need to sharpen it. There we go. I think my shoulder's getting really full. So this is the mahogany. And I'm just going to go over the edge of where we've already coloured. Get some of this down. You can see it's a rich colour. That's very nice. Just fade it a bit of it here. And then what shall I do? Like hazel. Let's use the hazel. Get a nice mix of colours. Oh, there you go. So just the edge of this. And sort of fading as we go. I want it to be shiny. There we go. And the same up here. There. Oh. And then we need, I'm thinking maybe it would be a grey brown to sort of mix in with the brown. Where's my swatch sheet? Maybe the umber would work. I think it will. Oh, I've got that frog back in my throat. I'm going to do it here. I'm wondering whether to do the eye actually black. I think I might. I'm not doing anything special here, just blocking it in. Yeah, I'm going to definitely grab a black. Oh, it's just called black. The eye. I'm going to go around the edge really intensely and then a bit less towards the centre. Put a bit on that side. Looks like he hasn't got an eye on that side. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe we've used one for the potion. Maybe my imagination's getting the better of me. Right, we have a sack of wheat, corn, something. So I'm going to use the light ochre for the wheat, corn, something. Oats. No? No. I'm just going to block it in. It's quite small. It's more like corn. I think this is a nicer colour than doing it like wheat is a bit dark. It just looks warm. Go with our other warm colours. Excuse me. There we go. Now our sack. Oh, we could use this colour for the tie on the sack actually. The brown ochre is a good one for that. Have we got that out? No. Where is it? There it is, brown ochre. We used it for the paper bag lower down actually, but we used it quite lightly. I might add a bit of grey in actually to make it look a bit more sacky. Because sacky's a word. Not sarky. Sack-like. Is that what you want? Right, let's go up. There we go. Oh, today seems to be passing so slowly, and I'm not necessarily complaining. It can be nice. I'm going to grab the brownish beige it can be nice to have a slow day, but on the other hand, I'm sort of missing people. It's odd having nobody here. But I'll get used to it. Mondays, I have no one here all day. And of course, when the children were at college and at school, I had no one here all day, every day. But suddenly, I'm not used to that anymore. Although when they were at college, I used to have someone home sometimes. I want that to look a bit like denim. We have a colour called blue jeans. I'm just trying to find it. There it is. I'm going to try and use that, hoping it's sort of denim. Blue jeans. So I'm going to put down a light layer. And I'm going to sharpen it. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of texture into it, just by doing some horizontal, then some vertical sort of stripes. There we go. And I'm going to sharpen the umber. Okay. Put a little bit of shadow underneath the patch because it would cast just a tad of a shadow. And then underneath the tie, I mean, this is a picture in a book, so it may not be supposed to be 3D, but it's not exactly going to be 3D. Just adding a little bit of darker colour here and there. You don't have to worry about fiddling with this. You can just leave it if you wish. There we go. I prefer that, just a little touch. Now, 4 cubes of, I am guessing they're sugar. Now, colouring white sugar, quite difficult. Brown sugar, slightly easier. I'm just having a look at my swatch chart to try and figure out which colour I have that looks most like the colour brown sugar. I'm thinking brown ochre is the way to go, which of course we've used for this. I'm going to just start it with this and then have a think whether it works. We've got this sort of dotting on it, which of course does happen with sugar. So maybe if we add some dots, it might work better. But a lot of our browns are orangey, and that's not going to work. So, just make that face a bit darker on each one. So it looks a little bit different to the sack because it's a bit lighter, and we put some grey on the sack. Dots. Hang on, I just tidy up, and then I'm just going to put the dots in. I'm just pressing and slightly turning while moving the pencil. Tends to create a dot. It doesn't want to show up very well everywhere, but I do the best I can and fill in that bit. Okay, so there we have our sort of sugar. Now we might as well just move down and work on this little bit. We have this pie, so let's do the pie crust. I am going to grab, is it here or is it, just seeing if I've already got it out. No, brownish orange. There it is. I'm going to try this. It might look a bit wrong, but I just keep using the same colours over and over, so I'm just going to do it gently. I think it'll be okay if I add a bit of yellow on top of it. What I'm confused about is actually, is that a container, and is the pastry over the top of the container? Or Or is that the pie? I think I'm going to do that as a container. I'm going to colour the pie a really gentle version of this. But we're going to get that container looking darker first. By adding in some flame red. Get it darker on the sides. A bit less towards the centre. It's not really red, is it, this? I think it's very orange. But that's okay. I knew what I was getting when I did it. It's gone quite brown because of the colour underneath anyway. Okay, I'm going to go a bit darker than that. Let's use a bit of this lovely mahogany colour. Just a little touch. And I'm thinking if we splodge it on a bit, sort of splodge, because we've got this sort of dot pattern. It's almost as if it's a not an evenly patterned thing. So I'm just sort of splodging it about. Or maybe I'm making a mess. I don't know, I like it. And we need some shadow. So I've got the umber underneath the pastry. There'd be a little shadow. I'm not going to put a shadow from the broom because remember this is a book, a picture in a book. So the shadow wouldn't just fall, we might have a shadow from the broom, but we're not worrying about that now. I'm going to put a few dots as well. There we go, just playing around with it really. Now we need to make our pastry look like pastry. The light ochre might work. We happen to just have it here. Like that. That's not too bad. But I want to just sort of mark out some of these divots and things. So I'm going to find the ochre, it's a little bit darker, and just sort of go over some of these where that cross hatches. I don't know if that's making a big difference. And the bit where that goes under the rim of the pot might be a bit darker. Now it looks like a carrot cake with a pie crust. Now, what is that? So we've got an apple. Let's worry about our apple. Well, let's not worry about our apple. Let's colour our apple. We could use the russet actually, because I don't think it looks like a russet apple really though. But just because we've got a russet colour, and so we can. So let's use the russet colour for the skin. So this is a slice of apple. And this is a slice of apple. But what's that? Come on, help me out. I'm going to do the pips. Let's get some umber. So we've got a pip in here. I'm thinking that's a pip there and there. And I'm thinking these probably are as well. Try and leave a little white mark where the pip might be shiny. Is that like an apple slice? I really don't think it is, but I don't know what else it could be. Oh, I didn't do a white bit on that one. Never mind. What is that? Is it a sandwich? I don't know. I want to colour those like they're apple pips. I I'm so confused. I just don't know what I'm doing. Right, I'm going to colour the inside of the apple with a light... Oh no, I've got the right colour, hang on. I'm thinking the lime green, if I can find it, there we go, it might just work. Let's have a looky. Lime green. Because the inside of an apple can be slightly yellowy or slightly greeny. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to colour this the same colour. I'm just pretending it's an apple slice, even though I know it absolutely isn't, but I just don't know. Confusion. Now, we have a jar of jam or something, and these dots, I think these are bits of jam. That's how I'm going to do it anyway. Now, maybe this jam goes in the pie. We've got pumpkin, sugar, wheat, apple. We put pumpkin and apple. What's that? Do you put jam? I've never made pumpkin pie. I don't know. But is it something to do with the recipe on the other side, or is it... Anyway, let's make it... I'm just looking at my colours. I'd quite like to make it blackcurrant. I think the dark carmine with a touch of aubergine is going to be the right colour. So I might just leave it, excuse me, at dark carmine. Now you notice we've got these black lines on the jar showing us where there should be some reflections of light. What I'm going to do is colour up to them and then to there to leave some white there. Does it work? I don't know, maybe. There we go, and we've got a bit down here too, so I need to leave a ditchy gap like that. I don't know if that's going to work. You can try it, and if it doesn't work you can just colour over it, so it's quite cool. I think this colour is okay. It certainly doesn't look like blackcurrant though, does it? It looks more like raspberry. No, not really raspberry. I don't know what I'm saying. I am going to add some purple. I am going to add some aubergine. Let's see what happens. Watch and decide if you... Where's my aubergine gone? There it is. So add this bit of aubergine. You can't see that, can you? I think it's still a bit too red if we're trying to make it blackcurrant. It's certainly looking a bit more like raspberry, but I think I'm going to have to be daring and go in with the violet. Oh. This is our sort of darkest colour, so, well, of this sort of tone. So if this doesn't work, then it's making it look very blue. Oh well, it is a magic witch's potion. Maybe it is something blue. Blue food. Ugh. Looks a little bit rough and ready, and I'm happy about that because it sort of looks like there might be little lumps of fruit or whatever in the jam. There we go. Now I'm going to do the top in a way I really like doing it. I do it a lot. Which shade should I grab though? I think the Indian red is a very pretty colour. I'm just going to sharpen it. And I'm going to make a stripy cover for our jam. Indian red. And I think I'll start with this bit. I'm just going to put some red lines through. Sorry, my tablet just switched itself off. I just pop it back on. Then down here, sort of trying to match them up a little bit with regards to the distance between them. And then here, Then we'll have one across there, like that. One around there. I'll try and fit a couple in around here. There we go. We'll colour that in solid under there and there. There. I like that. I do like doing the little lid like that. Now our label and label. We've got two labels. What should we use? We use the dark carmine that we used for our first colour for the jam. We use it lightly, like that, just gently and slowly, a little bit. I'm going to use it on here because I went over the edge of this, so it will work. There we go. And oh, we need some blobs. Okay, so we need to use this dark carmine first, like we did. And then what did we use next? We used the aubergine, didn't we? So then the aubergine. And then the violet on top at the end. Now, I wouldn't mind some white on here. A bit of white pen. Just for some shine, I'm going to just grab what have I got here. Oh, I've got a Posca. PC1MR. Just a little bit on the top of each one, because jam is shiny, isn't it? Like that. I wonder why I want one on the beetle as well. He's shiny. Okay. What else have we? Where else are we? We've done a fair bit, haven't we? We could do this bit of a bookmark. It looks like we've got some sort of metallic bit there. It wouldn't be, would it? Because if you shut the book it would ruin it. No, it wouldn't be metallic. Let's use the golden ochre. Do we have it out? What's that? That's the ochre. That's the light ochre. Maybe we don't. Let's have a search. No, we don't. Let's use the golden ochre. I always like that colour as a sort of twine colour. I'm trying to make sure I don't put my hand down in the wet pen. Now I'm just going to do a rough colour. Well, not a rough, just a layer. It's not rough. And I'm just thinking I'm going to do all this the same colour for now. Like that. Then I'm going to get a slightly different colour, the ochre. And I'm going to put that underneath each one. Give it a bit of shadow. I think I put my hand in something. And in these gaps, oh, those stick out. I thought they were gaps. Oh well. Bit darker there, bit of shadow. There we go. Now I can't decide about the paper, what to do with that. We've done our bones. Let's come out a little bit. We've done our bones in a cream, so we can't do the paper in cream because we've already used it. Let's come right out so you can see the whole thing. There we go, you can see all my mess. So I'm looking at what else we've got that's quite pale. We've got the light lemon yellow. No. So we've got this really light colour here, or the pale yellow. I could do apricot, or we could do the granite rose, which is a slight pinkish. I might do that. But that is our witch's skin tone, isn't it? She's overlapping the book, so we can't do that. We could use any colour really, really softly. Or we could use a grey. I'm wondering about whether we just use the light grey. The ash grey. That might give it age. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that now just before I finish, while I think about it. So the ash grey here, it's quite, oops, it's quite a light grey. And I'm just going to do it over the whole book. Yeah, as I say, it's really light. You can barely see it. But yeah, I just don't want the book to be white. I don't know why. But and the fact that it's ash grey is quite good because, you know, there's a cauldron here. And it's not on a fire, but you would think it might be. You know, cauldrons usually warmed up, aren't they, on fires? I'm putting a few more layers down so that you can actually see it a bit better, I think. Well, I can see it better anyway, so I hope that you can. I do like our little beetle. I've got a nice beetle video from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, actually, from last Halloween that I did. So it's one for you to have a look at if you like doing beetles. I'm going to sneeze now. My son had messaged me, I noticed, so I answered him as well. He asked if we had any big folders. He's had lots of handouts. And we do, but it might not be quite what he wants, but I can always buy him something. We have a really lovely stationery shop. Well, I say lovely, it's very officey. It's definitely an designed for office people. They don't do pretty stationery, you know. You don't have your lovely little notebooks and things, you know, but they do, you know, all the practical stuff, all the folders, the pens, that sort of thing. So they are quite useful if you want something like a folder, but it depends what he wants. He's also complaining because he's got a 2.5 hour break between classes. He's not happy. What on earth is that? I'm going to have to go and look it up. When I finish this video, I'm going to go and look up completed pages from this book and see whether I can figure out what other people have coloured that as, so I can sort of come back to you and go, actually, that's a prawn, or it's a caterpillar. No, I don't know what it is. I'm going to do this edge. I think I might do it that way, actually. Those bits of paper that are sticking out, we'll not do those at the minute. We've got lots of little bits to do on the book. Things sticking out the top as well. So we'll do all that a bit later. What I'll do is I'll see what colours are going to work. I'm going to colour this side of the book as well just before I finish, just because obviously it's going to be the same colour. And it can match up. This side seems to be a different recipe, so from what I can tell. We've got this bit sellotaped in that says 3, 5 and a half. So I'm assuming we need 3 feathers, 5 flowers and half a bottle of something in the cauldron, and 7 berries and 2 leaves, which is interesting. This looks like a little fern. Colour around this. We've got lots of plants sticking out the top of the book here, which, you know, maybe it's being used to press the book. There's a dagger. It's a bit scary. I guess it is Halloween. It's like a steak, isn't it? I guess my dad would say you need a recipe for steak in a good cookbook. I'm going to leave that bit white. Let's just push that in. And then it will look a little bit different. I've got butterflies here now. Putting butterflies in the potion, do you think? That seems a bit mean. Berries. It doesn't look like we've got any of the ingredients next to the cauldron for this particular recipe, which is interesting. We seem to have tomatoes down here, and there's that hat, just a hat, I don't know what that is, so I don't know. Still cutlery is cute. Look at that little spoon. Nearly done. I mean, I'm colouring over the writing, so it's making it a bit faded, but I feel that it gives this sort of feel of an old book. But you might not like that. You might want to colour around it or write it back in. It's up to you. But I quite like it. And this is quite uneven, so it looks a bit like there's dirty patches and things, which I rather like. But you may not really be able to see what I've done there, but it doesn't matter really. Yeah, I think that's just making sure you can see. There we go. I think that's enough for today. I had a lot. I really like colouring these bits and bobs. Next time I will be doing more. We'll do, you know, we've got this bit and this bit. I probably do 2 more videos, I'm guessing. Not entirely sure, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, for now, thank you for watching. I hope you have a really super day. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those things. It's really makes a difference, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and happy colouring.